Okay, video number 3. This one's going to be on choosing a tutor book. Let's get the disclaimer out of the way. All the opinions on these videos are my own and not that of any other person, organization, band, or YouTube. I claim no expertise on any subject which might be contained in these videos other than that of my own experience. The purpose of these videos is to share what I have learned to date about playing the Highland bagpipes and drums. These videos are not a replacement for a competent instructor, which I cannot stress enough is required to properly learn to play the Highland bagpipes or drums. The viewer accepts all responsibility for how they use the material presented. Go Arkansas State University. Okay, once again, the video number 3 is going to be on choosing and finding a tutor book. There are a few instructors and few programs that will make their own, and they provide them to you. It may be that the one that they provide to you is a photocopy of a commercially available book. All I can say on that is most of the tutor books out there that are commercially available are copyright material, and at least as for myself, I choose to not violate copyright laws. So they're not that expensive, so if they try to give you a copy of one, it might not be a bad idea, at least for your own conscience, to go ahead and then go buy the real book. That way at least you've got a license for it. Okay, a lot of the tutor books, there are some that are a standalone book, and there are some that are part of a series. A few things that you might want to look for in a tutor book are that not only does it have ample illustrations and pictures, but it's also got ample exercises. The ones that don't have a whole lot of exercises, you'll need to supplement with a book of exercises or of some kind. The tutor book typically gives you the theory, introduces you to some things, gives you illustrations on how to do specific topics. Start with tunes, it'll give you some tunes in there. But the exercises or the exercise book that you get to go along with it probably needs to be open and in front of the student more often than the actual tutor book. Beginning stages of learning to play the pipes and the drums as well is a lot about muscle memory. So it's just like learning to play golf, just like any other athletic sport. It's repetition, repetition, repetition to get the muscle memory and get the muscle memory correct from the very, very first. Bad form, if you do it enough times, it becomes permanent. They say practice makes perfect. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. So make sure you get it right the first time, the second time, the third time, and then do your repetitions hundreds and thousands of times so that you don't have to think about it anymore. Now, which tutor to get? There are so many of them out there that are good. My hearty suggestion for which tutor book to get is whatever your instructor tells you. So I'm assuming that you have an instructor. If at this point you do not have an instructor, go back and see the video I've got on choosing an instructor and find one. Whether it's with a local band, somebody local in your area, whether it's online, let a tutor or something, get an instructor first, then they will provide you with or suggest the tutor book to get. You may think you're being proactive by buying one that maybe somebody else suggests and then showing up to your lesson, with your little tutor book and your practice channel. If the instructor is not familiar with that particular tutor book, one or two things is going to happen. You're going to impede your progress because they're going to have to learn that tutor book along with you because tunes are totally different. The order when topics are presented tend to be different from one book to another. So they're having to learn it along with you. Or they're just going to say, this is the one I use. You've got that one. Sorry, you need to go get this one or we can't have lessons. Same thing on the practice channel. So I would say get your instructor first. They'll tell you what tutor book to get, and they'll either provide it to you, you'll be able to get it from them, or they will be able to tell you a good place to get it from, a vendor that they're confident in of using and have good service with. I've got a whole selection here, and I'll go through a few of them real quick for you. One I don't have is by R.T. Shepherd. It's a tutor book that's commonly sold, and actually I've got a picture of an ad here. It is very commonly sold, and it looks kind of like that. Little blue book there. Sold on eBay and a lot of other places like that with a really cheap, almost useless practice chanter. The book is good. The CD with it is good. The chanter typically comes with it is not, unless it's a name brand. But that's a good book. A lot of people like this one by Sandy Jones. It's an excellent tutor. It's not part of a series. It is a standalone tutor. It's one thing that I like about this one is that it has plenty of exercises. I mean, right from the beginning, you got exercises, exercises, exercises. Very good book. You can just get online and see. This is probably one of the main standards that anybody in piping, you talk about the green book. This is it. It is put out by the College of Piping, and it is actually part of a series. Here you've got a whole series from the College of Piping, book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4. This is your beginning book. It's actually, the tunes that are in it are some pretty tough tunes, but it's a good book. It doesn't have a lot of exercises, so you'll need to supplement it with a book of exercises. I'll show those to you in a minute. Second one, once you get done with your green book, you should be ready for your pipes. Second one is maintenance on the pipes. The red one, third book, is kind of an intermediate level, and the yellow one gets into P-Brook. Not too expensive per book. This is book 2 out of a series book called Bagpipe Solutions by John Cairns. If, for some reason, you have to, there is no instructor available, and you don't have decent internet access, which I don't know how you're seeing this if you don't have internet access, but if you did have to try to learn it by yourself, this would be the books to go with. John Cairns Bagpipe Solutions. They are more expensive. You can get CDs to go with them, but I don't think that there's going to be a series that's going to be any more comprehensive than that series. He gets book 1. He's talking about how to stretch. We've got the National Piping Center. 2 books from them. It's the way the book is laid out is good. It's a glossy one. It's the publishing is very high quality. So you've got that. If you're into snare, you've got Doug Stronach's book on snare, and then he got with Hugh Cameron and came up with mass band scores. There are books on P-Brook, which is the classical music of the pipes. You can get that. This one is from the P-Brook Society. If a instructor is required to learn to play the pipes for the light music, the marches, strathspeys, reels, and things of that nature, when it comes to P-Brook, it's 10 times more important. But there's that. Tutor books are the exercise books. A couple of them that I really like. This one's the less expensive one of it. Is Piper's Helper by John Recknagel. It's usually about $12 to $13, $14. Comes with the CD. There's not a lot of talking. There's not a lot of theory in here. It's just pages and pages of exercises. I would definitely get that one. The exercise book that would go up more and more level would be from Jim McGilvery, and it's called Rhythmic Fingerworks by Jim McGilvery. This was almost like a bachelor's degree in exercises. He's got exercises in here, and then he's got a lot of theory about like exactly where to put the beat on a multi-note embellishment and why. It's just, that's probably, the holy grail of exercise books. There's also a lot of stuff online. So there's a bunch of different books out there, all kinds of different price ranges. If you have to pick it yourself, try to get one that either has a lot of exercises built in or get an exercise book. But primarily, get what your instructor suggests.